Hey Defenders, welcome back to our channel. So right now, I wanted to share a very important concept in cybersecurity. This is design by security, right? And when I say design by security, there is a lot of things that we can cover, but I am going to specifically cover a content management system integrated to a database. Okay, let us understand a content management system can be Joomla, WordPress, Magento, Drupal, etc. Popular content management system. On the back end, you can have databases as MySQL database, MS SQL database, MariaDB, Postgres database. It can be anything, right? But the interesting thing here is you have to understand while installing WordPress, while installing Magento, while installing Joomla, right? While installing any of the content management system, it will ask you for the database username password, right? You are entering in database username password as admin and admin, for example, right? So with this username and password, which is the user account or root user account on the database server, the application is able to connect to the database server and write, read, insert, update, select from the particular database, right? This is quite clear. But something that I want all of you to think over is when you have applications like Joomla, WordPress, Magento, Drupal, all of these, right? There are multiple user roles in each of the application content management system. For example, in Joomla, right, you have a super admin, you have a admin, you have a manager, you have a publisher, you have a reporter, you have a registered user, you have a public. Public is someone who does not need to have a user account to browse the CMS, content management system. But a super admin will have all the permissions required to access all the menus in the site, right? So I gave you over 7 different roles. Imagine the first role has 7 menus. 7 menus equal to 7 different options. Then the other role has 6 menus. Other role 5 menus, 4 menus, right? So each user role has different menu access, right? Please think of this. A public user who does not need any access to browse, right? Now, a super admin is given close to 10 different menu access, right? Which means what I want you to understand is multiple user roles with different levels of privileges given to each user role, right? From the lowest to the highest user role, right? But what I want you to think is this application called Joomla or WordPress or Magento or Drupal is all working completely connecting to the database with just one username and password for the least user account and the most user account. Think of that, right? Think of that. 10 menus for the most highest privileged user account, and the least privileged user account also is running with the same username and a password as a connection string from the application to the database. Think of this, how insecure it can be. Isn't it insecure by design? Please think of this. That is exactly why I'm telling you with the least privilege may be only running a select query, right? Read-only privilege may be running with select query. But super admin will be running with select, update, insert, all the possible query, delete, drop, all that, right? So it is really important to understand when you have multiple user roles, you should have multiple database user accounts with different privileges, right? And these are to be defined properly in advance, right? And it is really imperative that most of us don't even think of this, even not just for content management system like Drupal, WordPress, Magento, but even for complex ones, including SharePoint, Power BI, Tableau, these kind of systems, right? These kind of applications also are connecting with just one username and password for the database. And think of this, how scary it can become. Not just here. Think of a CRM, customer relationship management tool. Think of a HRMS, think of a payroll system, think of a complex SAP kind of an application. They also still connect with one username and a password with all privileges given to that database user account to connect to the DB. right? So please think when you design a particular hierarchy or a structure for an application to connect to the database and run certain queries. Please think over this. It can really change the way you develop applications, right? In case you think that this information is really informative, and if you think someone would need this kind of an information, consider sharing and subscribing. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more tech insights on cybersecurity.